explain. Okay, so I've discovered the weirdest thing right before start of stream, right? I sip of the water, and I go, huh, that tastes like kind of faintly, spa watery, kind of cucumbery. But here's the weird part. I plug my nose, and it doesn't taste like that. It doesn't taste like that. It just tastes like neutral, mildly cold water when I plug my nose. So there is an ambient smell on my water bottle that is making me taste cucumber. Isn't that weird? Isn't that funky? That'd actually be really handy if you didn't want to, like, oh, come on, really? Okay, now plug back in. You can make deedle-doo noise all you want. Okay, good. Oh, I can select missions individually. Well, that'll be good if I ever need to go completionist on this. Do I even get achievements with the way I'm playing this? I don't know that I have achievements enabled with the way I'm playing this. Because I got it as a freebie from one of the, like, 3 or 4 storefronts that do that now. Anyway, what I was saying is that, that'd be a really great way to flavor water if you, for some reason, need your water to not have caloric content to it, but you also want a cute little sippy drink, is just have the water bottle smell like something, and it will induce that taste in your nose. Sure, it's inducing the taste in your nose and, like, the volume of that a LaCroix tastes like something. It's like somebody's thinking real hard about you, real hard toward you about limes or something, but it works. Actually, you know what? I think this is a known phenomena, and you know how I know this is a known phenomena? It's because I think I've seen a water bottle use that as a gimmick. Well, if you ever wanted to do it yourself, now you know. If you like, idea. Demeter perfumes, the ones that are like, I am an incredibly specific scent done perfectly correctly. You could have water that tastes like petrichor. Wouldn't that be wild? Because, like, something I've noticed, and you would definitely notice, is if you drink something with your nose plugged, your nose will slightly, like, try to take in some air, just by default. Anyway, now that we've discovered Why do you make that noise at me? Huh? I'm not even signed into that account on you. You're so rude, Lappy. Anyway, now that we've discovered a few interesting things about the mechanics of the human body, let us continue our game of control here. We lose 10% of our source every time we die, which means we usually tend to lose a lot of source. Oh shoot, I need to be able to see the chat. Oh no. Oh no, this is where we left off. There's the big angry wiggly ball, the astral spike or whatever. The big angry ball that wanted to eat us and we never figured out how to handle when we saw them in the astral plane. Now there's one in here. Because for some reason the Bureau taught them how to escape the astral plane, but only that one. I think that's where we left off. What did I open this for? I'm very ADHD tonight. A lot of people live tonight, so we'll have plenty of people to raid here in a couple hours. We already said thank you for Witch Medic joining. Let's get started. We need to figure out how to get past the mind spike, don't we? Wait a minute. Did we already look at this?
An early hypothesis
was
that the mindscape of the astral plane...
Oh, yeah, they were talking about the astral shape. The astral shape. Oh! Okay, so... how do we do this? Let's close that door real quick. And then... So, we can't shoot this thing. I'm relatively... Oh! So much damage. While there's busy doing that, shut this. Run past it. Oh god, oh god, oh god. And then get these items because we're very... Whoa! That thing is trying to eat me. Don't do that, sir. Don't eat me. Close the door. Oh, did we just... Am I stupid? Oh, no. That's a circle. So then do we need to... Do we need to lure it in here? Clearly there is a door that leads to... Wait a minute, that's new. What's that do? Oh. Does that close all the doors? Am I in here now? I think that closes all the doors. In all honesty, I know how to beat this thing. Oh, that was shield. That's not what I wanted. I'm stuck. I'm dead. I am dead. Okay. I think I need to look this up. Because there is not a solution presenting itself to me, because the doors lead to the doors lead to the doors. Find Marshall Astral Spike. It is a puzzle. Throw the battery crate. There's a battery crate? Hang on. Before I go reading the solution to this, there's a battery crate in there? What do you mean there's a battery crate in there? Hang on. Oh, dang it. I had chat open on my phone. That's why we can't have nice things. There's a battery crate in there? There's a battery crate in there. I don't see a battery crate. No, we already did the bit with the battery crate, and so that door moves. So then, what do we do? Do we... Maybe I was onto it earlier. Maybe we need to lure it into the space with the big doors? Mark? Oh, it's right there. I love that they tried to give this thing like some enrichment in its little enclosure by like making fake astral terrain, and it just immediately chews them up. Oh god. Wait, I have an idea. Oh! Okay, did we press the button before it scared us? No. I think it's coming over here. Hi, what are you doing out there? You have fun? Hi. Oh, do we lure it in here and then go press the button on the console? Is that what happens? Yes, actually. No, don't go through the door. Thank you. There we go. Get caught.
That thing.
Forgot we did the little... So we've got... Did we get the little crate in here? Did that count? Also, yeah, that thing seems like a very unsafe thing to have in your little... Excuse me. I was trying to look back here. I guess I already got that. The dynamic lighting is not letting me see. Anyway, we got the little mind spike into its little enclosure away from its enrichment. So now what?
Someone answer, damn it! We need backup down here.
Oh!
Marshall, are
Yeah,
you still
sure.
there?
What's up?
Shit.
Uh-oh.
We're so close. We need to hurry.
Okay. I don't know. that just did. This. Oh, it moved. Well, don't know where that went. Oh no, that's really what I want to be doing right now. How do I switch guns? That's not switch guns. That's dash. There. For a longer time there. Don't run out of telekinesis when that thing's around. Because it can and will stop that. Rude. So I'm gonna need to go chase down the little help that lives on the floor over there. But before I do that, I need to get rid of this guy. Oh, you can dodge one bullet. Alright, that's how I'm hurting. Oh, personal mod's full. Handled. Lore. Wait a minute. Do these record? What is this? Are those directional microphones? Brainwave translators? They must be brainwave translators because that's how they got the images from the astral plane, no? That's my guess. Who knows? Maybe a little lore chunk we can play. Don't Oh, someone's being mean. Why are you so spicy? Talk to your buddy about being spicy. Okay. Stop that. Have to stop. Oh, that's a grenade. They're also allowed to do that. Hey, I need a minute. Oh, very 4 times for yeet, apparently. Oh, I'm dead. Again, I need to start playing this as a cover shooter. This is not a run-in, guns blazing type deal. The fact that I got that far through the room, like, that's kind of impressive, though. Oh, no. Do I have to chase the blob into the thing again? To chase the little astral gerblin? No? Question mark? Okay. I mean, I will happily not chase this little guy anywhere, but I don't remember how I got where I was going after that. This door? Was this the door? Yes, this was the door. Okay, so we need to get down there and help Marshall. Was it down that switched guns? It was square. Okay, yeah, we want rapid fire. First of all, no, you're not. Oh, Spin rate of fire boost, I may very well equip that. Okay, so there's more up there, but is there a better way for us to handle the ones that are up there? Because the way I did it was... Okay. Well, we're making decisions on the fly. Stop. Oh, more. Eat. Yes, I am obligated to say eat every time I do. Okay, and then I think we approach these around here. Stay down the stairs. Like Canadian. Do some friendly fire. Oh, that's handy. Far too green.
We've encountered heavy resistance. We've fallen back to the lock department. All agents are ordered to converge here.
Oh, the little brain slices. Neat. Okay. We'll pick up that. This. And this. And let's see if there's anything else that we missed. So that's the filing cabinets down there. Did we miss anything else? I think there was a personal mod the first time that we didn't pick up, but then the second time it randomized into a different personal mod. But let's double check. Mostly just health girls. Yeah, like, it's unclear because, like, enemies drop health, so, like, is this supposed to be a cover shooter? What's in here? Extrasensory lab. Like, perceiving without perception. Oh, hey, floor. So I assume sensory tank is meaning, like, sensory deprivation. Speaking of sensory deprivation, I've been watching Fringe with Raz. So good. And how in the world did I not, like, get around Fringe? Like, it as we've been continuing to watch it, the more stuff that comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, I can predict this, I can roughly predict this plot because I know it's gonna do X, Y, and Z. Oh, these are sensory deprivation tanks. You know, I have a rough guess of, oh yeah, this probably means that. Are they touching on this? Is something I say a lot while we're watching. And so I'm just like, the more we watch this show, the more I am shocked I didn't get it. But that tells you something, is, you know, marketing does not reach 100% of your target audience. No matter what you do. Oh, can I pick up this reel-to-reel? Or is there nothing on it? Good talk, glad we had it. Is this the right intercom? No. Door. And now we're in parapsychology again. It's hard to tell what's, like, intentional greebling and what's, like, there because it's not supposed to be. But of this building, which I guess kind of makes sense. Oh, the hypnosis lab. Never know when you're gonna need that. Oh, hi. Are you guys
I see it.
good? Are you
Another object of power? They're just standing there, mesmerized by it.
What is it? Is it a brain scan? Can I open that door? Lock is controlled remotely. I guess I should go speak with Marshall on the intercom first. No, we'll get this object of power first. It feels important. Maybe we have to go speak with Marshall. So I don't see another way in there. The other way that we could use to get in there is Griebel way. Wait. Brain scanner question mark? I mean, in theory you could produce a transducer like that. You know. Wouldn't be perfectly oh. Listen, I didn't mean to do that, but you never know. Perhaps that was a little bit of parapsychology of my own.
Please state your name for the record. Paul Warren, astronaut, first class. And you are aware that exposure to the astral plane can result in death, disability, personal injury, corporeal untangling, cognitive collapse, loss of ego, and
Corporeal
partial temporal dementia. Yeah.
Lots of
I
ego.
am. And you acknowledge that your use of the astral conduit, aka the X-ray light box, is purely voluntary.
Yes, I do.
Perfect.
Power over
Your suit
there.
is good? Yeah. Okay, you're all set. Open the door for Mr. Warren, please.
So all these guys are mesmerized by the light box because it is a conduit to enter the astral plane. And as such, here we go, we're in the astral plane. Use C's to complete the astral plane. Okay. Is it gonna tell me how to do that? Hopefully. Golden copy NPC variation. Where is it? It's over there. Gold enemies are immune to attacks. Shield. I mean, it stops them from getting us. Enemies at low health can be seized, but it's immune to attacks. Oh! Oh, ow. You need to whittle down this guy. Oh, well, that's a little too loud. Whittle down the gray guy. There's one around here somewhere. I swear to Caesar. He is now mine. Okay, well, you don't get to shoot me anymore. The gray one gets to shoot you. Well, we're gonna have to do that again. So this is a charm, essentially. You wave your hand and you're like, you work for me now, and they go, I work for you now. Okay, well, you don't get to shoot at me. First and foremost. Yeah, you can keep doing that all you like. You don't get you now work for me. Didn't see that one. Didn't see that one. I was like, oh yeah, go get the gold guy. Apparently, I need to pay more attention to the other people around. Good news, though. We can, in fact, I assume Square is context sensitive, and ordinarily you can. Oh, no, stop that! Stop that! Stop! Jeez! Immediately. Oop. You're my friend now. Oh, I got him. I didn't want to get him. The opposite of what I just did. Well, that guy's getting got. So, where's the other one? There was another one that got me earlier. Do we need to just run around and let it spawn again? Oh, oh. That was a noise. Instead, consider. Dang it! I was like, oh yeah, he's got a little bit of health. Not enough. Yeah, I can't damage Mr. Yellow over there. You were perfect. Have fun. Go get him. Get him. There you go. Hey, I have been looking for a new employee. Go get him. We've been approved coercive. The X-ray is now bound and validated. Huh. Yeah, okay. We take those. That'll be handy. Oh, cool ability points. I do so love having ability. Oh no, now that I've bound this, all these guys are gonna be mad. Maybe not. Maybe they just,
Their brains
you know,
were fried when I took over the
feel
object.
a little nappy now. You know, a little nap, little lobotomy nap. You know, that thing you can take. Okay, off we go. We got another mission. That's the wrong pause. Missions. Go to pneumatics. I don't think I can get to pneumatic. Yeah, pneumatics is not a location I have access to. Oh well. One of these times that'll be useful. One of those timed missions that you can only do once. Abilities. So we now have the ability to upgrade C's, which allows us to, you know, charm people. This. Launch grenades and rockets back at the enemy. We've been waiting for that one. Launch basic enemies when their health is low. Considering. We haven't done a lot of melee, to be honest. We don't have enough points to get more energy. Yeah, I'll launch enemies. And then I think we should see how C's does, because I tend to just squish enemies and call it good. Shield, we should have gotten Shield Rush as well. We should have gotten this once because it would have unlocked Shield Rush for us. Oh well. Well, actually, no. See how there's not a line here? We should have gotten this one because then we could have gotten Shield Rush. Oh well. It'll be useful to be able to eat new things. Oh, our mods. Can we edit those from here? Yes, we can. Spin grouping efficiency 3. Oh, we have spin grouping efficiency. Spin rate of fire 3. Oh, do we have Pierce yet? We should unlock. We should have. Do we have the stuff to unlock Pierce? Because I'd love to have Pierce. weapon armor damage, spin grouping efficiency, pierce zoom boost, spin rate of fire boost. Grouping, we have grouping efficiency equipped. I'm gonna say let's equip rate of fire boost. Reload efficiency. Low health boost. Consecutive boost. Consecutive boost would not be as good on grip, I think. Yeah, okay. Ooh, we have another personal mod slot. Dodge efficiency, launch efficiency, energy recovery speed, shield efficiency, health boost. Honestly, shield efficiency maybe? Energy recovery feels like the most useful thing here. Because I feel like we're constantly out of energy. That's 18. This is 21, so... okay. Yeah, we can't go to pneumatics, so that doesn't matter. And we'll look at collectibles later. So I guess, let's see if we can construct Pierce, because I'd really love to have it. Astral constructs, weapon forms, Pierce. We are short source. Let's keep saving for Pierce then. Anyway, we need to go talk to Marshall on the intercom next to the elevator. Which that looks like that's that is what that is. Oh, chat. Raider has redeemed a hydrate. Appreciate you showing up. I was wondering where you've been. Been real busy, can't show up later, but if I have a moment to say hi, I'll show up when I can. Appreciate you dropping by at all. Sorry I was zoned in on the game, didn't notice you there. A little hydrate for you, and Raider is indeed first. You did it. You came here first. That's... Oh! We do have clearance level 3. Oh, that's a shortcut. Okay, yeah, we started here. Appreciate you dropping by, Raider.
Marshall, can you hear me?
Intercom.
Yes, I can hear you. Who is this?
My name is Jessie Faden. I'm coming to help.
Faden. Hold on. I'm setting the elevator for you. We need to talk.
You got that right. More
Here
of
goes
you?
the elevator.
Really?
Oh. Guys. Oh, Yeet! Stop. Elevator here yet? Thank you. I forgot we could throw enemies, and I was like, oh. That definitely will get me to use launch so much more. I think we left something behind, but that doesn't... Oh.
Marshall is waiting for you in the lumberjack,
Nice.
just down the hall.
Okay, good. Thank you, Ranger. First of all, gotta check the bathrooms, just in case. You never know. You never know what's in here. Oh. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. Rubber duck supplement. No.
Marshall's eager to speak with you, ma'am. She's just down the hall.
Glad you all have your resonators on. Oh, screens. Oh, another control point. That's mine. Mostly just the lines, the dishes, not a lot of change in this area. Yeah, we don't have points to spend. Wait, check in. Hello. Luck and probability department. Okay. Man, some people are really nursing some wounds there.
There you are. I was starting to worry.
Where are you? Hi. I'll talk to you in a minute. I don't have the clearance for this, but I do have the ability to order. Huh. I wonder if that's good luck or bad luck. Probably definitely want that. I can't read any of those. Leave it how we found. Yeah, this department clearly deals with how luck affects. Oh, lucky cat. How luck interacts with these objects, you know. Okay, Marshall, what's up?
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Phaeton. I'm Helen Marshall, head of Bureau Operations. Zachariah's dead then, and I assume you found his gun.
Just call me Jesse. Trench told me to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you this through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this phases her? Really?
Here's the situation. Darling created the HRAs in a lab nearby. We need more if we're gonna survive this attack. My rangers can't secure the lab alone, not against those things. We need more firepower.
At least she seems to know what's going on here. She could know about Dylan.
I can clear out the
Oh,
hiss.
yeah, maybe.
I'll be your firepower.
That's a good answer.
Is she testing me?
Darling has systems in place to
I mean,
protect
she's
his
seen at
labs.
least two
This should help you
previous
get past them.
directors.
We'll talk more after you clear out the
Love
hiss.
your little college stays. Very cute.
Rangers, let her through.
Problem.
We'll have to lock the door behind you.
You.
Sorry, but we can't risk a breach.
Yeah, that makes sense. Shots. So sorry, this is a video game, so can't open those doors. Interesting, the doors have. Why do I do that? Interesting that some of these fortified doors have a kind of acoustic protection. Small. Times the bathroom that have something. That's not. Secure for a second. You can throw a
I see rangers over there.
Okay.
We have to help them.
I am. I'm not approaching this correctly, judge my stance. exploded myself. Just making sure nothing's on fire over here between load screens. Okay, clearly we need to focus on the little bubble because we're gonna waste a lot of time chipping away at health bars we do not need to be chipping away at. Okay, we already talked to...
Guess we never thought we'd be fighting on our own turf.
Seriously. I've been in Threshold safer than this.
And the hit sort of turned the house into a threshold, huh?
Yeah, I agree. Oh, now
I see where you're
perfect.
Just have to help them.
Stand up here and shoot the bubble instead of dealing with these guys. Exploded 3 times in a row. Little explodey low. Well, can't go that way. Resistance health. Maybe go back to what's her name? Or maybe I need to go and try and cleanse the point again. Yes, this is Polaris. There we go. Ungreeble the whole area. I think that's the first time we've had a boss interrupt us from ungreebling an area. Fascinating. So now we need to find Darling's resonator lab. But before we do that, we need to go check out the shop that I tried to open. And it was greebled shut, and now it's not greebled. Y'all know what I mean when I'm saying greebled, right? It's not just a nonsense word that I think is fun to say. It's also a technical term for all those little, like, squares you see coming off of us. Like, let's say you draw a cube, right? Hang on, let me just... cube. And then you greeble a cube by raising many small pieces of itself up and outward, often following the geometry of the thing itself. So, like, if it's a square, it's a bunch of little squares and rectangles. It's a little triangle, it's a bunch of other smaller triangles. That kind of thing, to add textures to something. And so that's what I mean when I'm like, oh yeah, this area is pretty greebled, is it's got all the extra little squares. Note that some of these doors are sealed, like there's foam around the edges, so they clearly don't want people going in or out that way, like this one. I assume they just made them accessible during the breakout. Oh, yellow. Oh, rubber duck.
Altered item number 52AE analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage electric shock. No response. Next, I will introduce heat via a standard Bunsen burner. No response. Next, a series of solutions will be applied, each with a different value on the pH scale, from 0 to 14.
I mean, at least they're systematically searching for stimuli response, you know. Starting with the basics, electromagnetic spectrum.
Next, I will attempt to communicate. Can you understand me?
pH.
Can you understand my words? Quack if you can understand my words. No response. This concludes session 2. We'll need time to prepare further tests.
But would you not... I mean, I guess if you just found it and nothing else, you know, you wouldn't know what set it off, so you'd have to divine the,
This
like
way to the lab?
But where it
Okay.
says goes this way.
You must like these HRAs. Sounds like Darling built them. And most of the things around here. If Marshall can't help us
If
with
you
Dylan,
didn't know what set it off,
he's our next best bet. Assuming
you gotta
he's not
systematically
dead
figure out what it is.
or taken over by the hiss.
I love the way the game, like, adaptively lights based on, like, how much light is actually hitting your character's eyes. So, like, when we walk into this area, we can actually see more, but it's appropriately bright when we're looking away from it. You know, it's just a very satisfying little, like, almost cinematic detail. What is this? Oh. It's like the, we had this earlier. There we are. I just accidentally guessed the pattern for the X-ray. Oh, here we
You
go.
led me
Here's
here.
the resonator lab.
Any idea how to make it work?
Note all the acoustic panel. These these are... Presumably those are... You had to shift the pattern on the door a bunch for this, and that's why that changes. But then, what are these? Oh, it's dimensionality feedback loops. Okay, so those are like intersection maps. I see. Perhaps it'll be explained further. But it looks like those are representations of prismatic dimensionality alignment to my eye. Or maybe it's just literally how the prism looks from the top as it's aligned. Who knows? I mean, I'm assuming that's a prism. Right? What is this? Oh, yeah? Just
Hello
press a
again,
bunch of
Director.
buttons I can't
It appears
see.
we have a new problem. We need to get the HRA machine working.
I've replaced a couple of spark plugs, but this looks a bit more complicated.
Darling must have had a system. Randomness isn't in his nature. The punch cards, the symbols, the terminals. How do they connect?
I'll see what I can do.
Oh, okay. So we need to find punch cards? Restart the punch card terminals. Oh, well, that's a punch card. Huh. Let's pick up all the punch cards before we go putting them in things. But I'm sure there are hints around as to where to put each punch card. This won't be a guessing game.
So,
At least
we need to
I hope.
find all the punch cards.
Yes, I got there, Marshall. Thank you. That's 4. We need a 5th punch card. It's up here. Anything? No. That's after we apply all the punch cards. So there's one more punch card around here. Because we have 5 in total, and I'm missing one. Past it. Looks like I have.
Have you checked the upper floor?
Well, no, I haven't. Thank you. I was like, we're missing a postcard. We're missing a punch card. And there are at least 5. Configurations. I wonder if we need to put all of the punch cards in such that they combine into one of these configurations. So, let's say
Each punch card should correspond to a terminal.
yes, I got there. Okay, what's that say? Can we affect this? Okay. There are notes here. Huh. Is that one of the cards we have? No, it is not. Well, maybe. No, none of those cards are the cards we have. So...
These whiteboard drawings may be important.
These whiteboard drawings may be important. I agree with you. At least you're signposting, but... Okay. Changing variables. Too strong. Leaks out. So, do we have any cards that match that? This is the closest match there. It's either this or that. So, let's try that. And then this one does not have any indicators near it. Right? No.
It looks like he was working on something to do with these symbols.
Yes, I've gathered that, Marshall. Thank you. I know you're trying to help. So that. So that must correspond to this one. And so it must be either that, and then this one? Or does that correspond to this one? Who knows? Let's try that.
What do the symbols mean?
So, oh, they're numbered. They're numbered. They're numbered. 1, 2. So is this? Are the whiteboards numbered? Or wait. Oh, it's the amount of them that are, no, it's not the amount of them that are crossed out. So they are numbered. Then what? So let's take this card. Right? Maybe they're just, this is silly.
What do these
maybe they're
whiteboards
just
mean?
in order. Yeah, I'm getting there. It either has something to do with the nearest whiteboard. Are the whiteboards numbered? I don't think the whiteboards are numbered in any way that we can see. So it's either the umbrella looking one or the, maybe these arrows have something to do with it. See how 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it points to 5, so then maybe that goes in 5. It's a concept.
Try different combinations. One of them has to work.
Yes, I know. Okay, so this one having the notes means that goes in 4, and 4 is up here. So 4 is the, which we don't have. No, we do. 4 is this one, if we're going by what's annotated, right? And then this would be 5. 5 is being pointed to, so it's the half one, which is this one. And then 2 and 3, 2 and 3 are those. So let's try, so we need to remove the 1 from 3. This goes in 3. Then this is 2, so it goes there. And then over here, annotated, and that tells us about 5, so process of elimination, this must be 1. So now we try the machine, or do we try that panel over there? Okay. Because that's pointing at 5, right? So that would go in 5, and that's up there. Unless it's the number of annotations, then there's 3 on here, and so that would go in 3, maybe? So let's take all the cards real quick. So there are 1, 2, 3 on there. No, 4 on there. So it would be 4 would be one of those 2. Let's take all the cards and go through this again. So how many annotations? There is 1. There are 2 annotations on here. So 2 must be either the umbrella one or the overhead one. So this one. So let's try this, okay? Was there 1 mentioned in... Is any one of these known to be in a specific position? Oh, that didn't load. There it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 is one of those 2. 1, 2, 3. 3 is known to be one of those 2. And there's overlap here, right? Because there's another one that was allowed to be that biohazard looking one. Maybe. But then does that leave us enough information, or are we still gonna have to brute force some things? get to that one? The mail room. No, we can get to that one. We'll go do that real quick. Where's the nearest control point? I want to do this timed mission because I didn't get to do one last time. Should be a control point near here. In Ritual Division. So then we can go to the mail room because we've been to the mail room before. That's not a control point. In Ritual Division, we had this big boy control point, and then we can fast travel to the mail room and try this. Fast travel to mail room. And remember, we only have one try at these timed missions, so we need to play a little more carefully. I don't know what these timed missions get us, but I'm happy to try. So, in the mail room, there's something occurring. Also, what did we get for doing that? Did anyone see? Did anyone clip that? I didn't catch what that got us. So, or maybe we failed it. Who knows? Need to head back to the HRA lab. We were in the middle of something with some punch cards, and I've completely lost the plot of what we were fussing with there. Yes, yes. Hi, Polaris. And then in the lab in here, there was something happening with these terminals. Oh, we gotta pick up the punch cards again? Okay, cool. Maybe there's something about the areas in which we're picking them up? No, we would have noticed something. Did one of these come with a punch card in it? No? Okay. Maybe it's... But no, but that can't be. Maybe it's just like as we're holding
So,
the
we
punch
need to find all the
cards.
punch cards.
Yes, Marshall, we need to find all the punch cards. So maybe as we're holding these, what is the order they are in actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so then maybe where they overlap with the order. So this one overlaps, so that would go in 1. Because is it the same in every whiteboard? No, those are maybe. Oh, I see something. See how these are all the same? It's all the same overlap, overlap, overlap. There's 3 of those, so maybe that one goes in 3? Let's look at this one. Are there any more duplicated ones? That one goes in 2. So the left side one goes in 2. The overhead one goes in 3. And then that
Each punch card
biohazard
should
one
correspond to a terminal.
Thank you, Marshall. Yes. This one goes in 4 because they're repeated 4 times. The biohazard looking one, I mean. And then there was one that repeated once, and that leaves 2. Right? Oh, and that's our hint, changing variables. So that's 2. So then, what cards do we have left here? We have this one and that one. So we see, what terminals don't have cards? 2.
These whiteboard drawings may be important.
Yes, I gathered that. So, because there is one of those over there, this might be correct. We may need to change 1 and 5 around. Okay. Okay. So let's change 1 and 5 around immediately and see if that works, because it does. I wish it would tell us, you know, which ones we've got and which ones we
Looks like he
don't.
was working on something to do with these symbols.
Okay, that didn't work. Marshall, if you could stop. Oh, wait. Wait. I think these have something to do with it? No, whiteboards. Whiteboards. Focus those. So that one for sure goes in 2. 1, 2. So we check terminal 2, and that one is in terminal 2. And then that one goes in terminal 4. The biohazard looking one goes in 4. For for sure.
What are the symbols?
And the overhead looking one goes in 3. Unless, well, that's repeated twice. So maybe that goes in 2. Maybe that goes in 2 rather than 4? Okay. Is there a way for me to write this down? Hi, Raider. Welcome back. You caught me in the middle of a puzzle. Maybe the paper instead? Huh.
What do these
So,
whiteboards mean?
what do these whiteboards mean? That's exactly what we're debating about right now. Freed from the burden of homework. Always happy to have you freed from homework. So, let's think here. The biohazard looking symbol could go in 2 or 4. And the overhead one could go in 3. So does that pattern extend to other whiteboards? Is there another whiteboard? So then, does this one also suggest... Yeah, that one also suggests that the biohazard could go in 4, and the left one could go in 1.
Try different
instead.
combinations. One of them
Tell
has to
me
work.
the numbers. Walking it out right now. Oh, your notepad. Okay. So there are shapes and numbers. There are 5 terminals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each whiteboard suggests 2 different configurations of symbols. So the whiteboard in the first area, right? If you can't keep track of this, I'm writing it in chat. I just want to point that out. So the whiteboard in the first area suggests biohazard could be in 4 and left side could be in 1. And the whiteboard in the second area, the whiteboard number 2 suggests that the left side, the left one that could go in 1 could also go in 2, and the overhead could go in 1 instead. And then the last whiteboard suggests that the biohazard could go in 2 and the overheads could go in 3. Oh no, never mind. Okay, so let's keep track of our deductions here. So we know that biohazard could go in 2 or 4. 2 or 4. And we also know that overhead could go in 3 or... Let me look here. Overhead could go in 3 or 1. I'm not a good notepad, you've lost me. This is a complex pattern, I don't blame you. Overhead could go in 3 or 1. And then the other whiteboard suggests that the left side could go in 2 or... There was another one that suggested left side could go another way. Left side could go in 2 or 1. So, the only one we've guaranteed is we have no information on 5. There are no cards suggested by 5. When is my birthday? The 11th of March, if you were curious. I don't know that I have a way for people to buy me birthday gifts. I'm not sure if that's a thing I can do. Like, can I... Is there used to be a way to, like, set up an Amazon wish list and be like, I have an Amazon wish list, buy me things. But, honestly, I'm debating whether I even want people to do that. And more so, I have a list of charities you could donate to on my birthday if you really wanted to. You know? Okay. So, now that these are in chat, I can see them on this little screen and we don't have to keep tabbing out. Okay. So, let's try left side 1, right? So what's our options for 1 here? Biohazard 2 or 4. Left side could go in. Left side, yeah. Overhead is 1 or so terminal 1 could have left side or overhead, right? So let's take this. Oh no. So we also, oh no, there's another one that could be 1 because we don't have the soul triangle. Oh man, and like, no, we do have the soul triangle. That one could also be 1. Oh. You could set up a P.O. box if you wanted somewhere fans could send you mail. That's a good concept. I don't know how well the P.O. box would work while I am on the road. Because, for context, Raider, I don't think you were around last time I was on the road. I live part of the year in an RV. So, do we have any tiles confirmed could only go in one place? Can I look at the cards I have here? So, let's try... So if we put left side in 1, right, then that forces us into a configuration with 2 and 3, I believe. So let's put left side into 1 here. So left side into 1, right? And then that forces us to put Biohazard in 2. And then overhead in 3. And then that gives us these 2, and we have no indication on 5. We have no indication on 5 or 4, so let's try the middle being 4 and the singular diamond, or singular triangle, I suppose, being 4. Let's try that. But ding, 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 ding! 10 bits from Raider. Thank you for the cheer, Raider. I shall use this 10 bits to donate more bits as close to March 11th as possible. I appreciate the 10 bits! For those of you who aren't abundantly familiar with Twitch, bits are essentially a little currency that Twitch has that correlate 1-to-1 with cents. And so those you can come by for free every now and again. And so it's essentially a way for the viewer to donate to me without donating money directly. Bits just go into my Twitch payout. I think Twitch gets some volume money when you first buy the bits, and that's how it works. But if you were curious, that's what happens when people do bits. If we're on paper cuts, there's room for the little bits cup, and then the bits actually fall down into the little bit cup. Okay, so that didn't work, so let's change these 2 out first. Shall we? Because there are a lot of patterns that... Oh, that suggests... Wait. No. Even worse, there are patterns on the machine, too. So... Look at this. There are panels on the machine that correspond to cards we have. So that could mean that the card we have in 5 right now, I think, yes, the card we have in 5 right now, the panel on the machine is orientated toward Terminal 4. And then... oh no, my controller. Then what? And then the panel on the machine orientated toward 5 is left half, which directly contradicts the things on the whiteboard. But also then, one of those cards is one we don't have. So then, what if we do this? And then that would leave this by process of elimination. No. Huh. Well, this is a real thinker of a puzzle, isn't it? Okay, let's pick up all the cards again. So we had another set of options to try here. Right? Suggested by the whiteboard. Maybe it's the ones that are crossed out. Like, maybe the crosses indicate which terminal it goes in, and then, for example, this terminal has the center pointed to twice with the arrow, right? It's pointed to with the arrow, and then there's the little printed one there, right? Here, B, you gotta check the T-list. Don't pick my cellular data code, Twitch and Discord at the same time. That's fair. Appreciate you checking the T-list. That's point of the T command. We continue to struggle with this. I may have to take a tea break. Okay, so see how this is indicated here, and then it's the things around it are crossed out 3 times, and then there's a piece of paper under that? That almost suggests to me that center is 3. But we need all the cards to think this way. Don't ask me why. So then what if... the problem is there are several symbols nearby. Oh, that also has 3 crossed out, so that doesn't work either. Again, I think it has something to do with the repeating. If any of you have played this game before, could you give me a very vague hint? Because I know it has something to do with the whiteboards, and I think it has something to do with the variability. Wait. No. These aren't together. These aren't 3 X's together. Maybe that's indicating biohazard in 2, overhead in 1. Wait. And then no, that would suggest bottom left in 1 and center in 2. Or maybe these crossed out are saying it can't go in 2 or 3 or 5. There is a T... oh no, there's not a T command, although Raider, you have gifted me a wonderful idea. Let me add that really quick. Making as nice as it is to point everyone toward the Discord. Where's the T-list? T-list is in announcements? See, this is why I shouldn't have it in the Discord. And things. You know what? It might be in paper cuts. No, it's not. Link to... because it is a recent set of messages I did. Can I just, like, check my pinned messages globally? Is that a thing I can do in Discord? Pinned messages. None in Igloo. None in announcements. We already checked bot sounds. It's not going to be in videos. Rules. It's not going to be in rules. Paper cuts. The Raider, you have reminded me that I can in fact set Twitch commands on my bot. And I'm gonna do that real quick. Once I find where the pinned messages are. They're not in here, hold this, because that's a channel I get and nobody else does. And it's not in promo time. I am so sure I posted these. Ah, here we are. Okay. Command add tea. And I'll put these in caffeination order for everyone. So most caffeinated teas in order from most caffeinated to least caffeinated. Yes, I did spell caffeinated wrong. Why do you ask? Caffeinated. I get the I and the E backwards in caffeine because English is a very good language. Let's see, the yerba mate. Shift enter. Is by far the most caffeinated. And then the black teas. Ooh. Which is going to be Yu-Chi. Yu-Chi black tea. Oh, Raider, you have made something about you very clear to me by describing them that way. Apologies. I'm going to be vague about that on purpose. Lavender, Earl Grey. If I'm remembering what those letters stand for. And then Breakfast in Paris. And then the green teas, I think, is what we're up to here. White tea has less caffeine than green tea, right? I think. That's a Google question. Let me Google that super quick. Does white tea have more? White tea contains 15% less caffeine than green tea. Noted. So then that brings up the gunpowder green. And then rose oolong. Above that is the sencha. Nice. Always good to hear you've got a little better internet. Hibiscus. And then oolong, and then the white teas, which should be this and the yellow tea and silver needle. Okay, and then the no caffeine at all options, the decaf options, if you will. The chocolate mint, I believe, has no caffeine. Dr. Jekyll. Citrus mint licorice. Citrus mint licorice. Okay, that's everything. So now this should add a command. Cool, and then I can say T. Ooh, oh. It doesn't have a colon. Agonies. You know what? It's fine. And then we will add another command. Sugar. Rose. Rose sugar. Yeah, I'll edit that command later to be a little more readable, but figured I'd have it in there. Lime syrup. There we go. And then that's a good question. Sugar. Maybe more syrups, depending on what's in season. Just ask. There we go. A couple of those sugar options aren't available because my house is in the shop. But there, now we have that. Let me actually double check one more thing. Just one more thing. Oh, I have misremembered what SRO stands for. A disregard about me being cryptic. I was wrong, and I made an assumption based on the wrong letters. So, you know, fun. Anyway, let's keep playing Control. How do we do this? So this... Okay, so let's act on the assumption. So there are multiple points of information in these. Hey, can I ask you? No, I can't. So there's no cards in the terminals right now, and that obviously doesn't work. So we have all the cards. So there's multiple things with these. There's multiple things that this whiteboard could be indicating to us, right? It could be saying biohazard cannot be in 2 or 3, and left side cannot be in 1, right? Or it could be indicating that biohazard is in 4, and left side is in 1. Or, even farther, it could be indicating, just because it's pointing to 4, it's pointing to the 5th spot with biohazard, maybe that's where that goes. There are multiple options for what this is indicating. Again, if any of you have played this... Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get a hint on... Oh, come on. I stood around for too long and it gave me another mission. Oh, an entropic echo. Fun. Can we go to the energy converters? I think we can go to the energy converters. Tell you what. Let's go do that. And maybe I will have better ideas when I get back. Or maybe someone who has played the game will have dropped by and been like, yeah, this is what the whiteboards are indicating. Because there's like several layers of information that could be acquired from those whiteboards. Hi, library. It's Library Cat. Everyone's favorite co-host. So let's fast travel to the energy converters, because that's the mission we're on. Oh, yeah, library, we're gonna clink the keys. Is that how we feel? Go to the energy converters. Yeah, sure. Eliminate his target. Stand there. Well, maybe that got the blood pumping enough to make us think about the whiteboard puzzle, huh, library? What do we think? What do we think, Mr. Man? Yeah, we think we love the table because Dad spent all his time at it, don't we? I am only exaggerating slightly. I do spend a lot of time at this table. We need to go to the ritual division. I spend a lot of time at this table between the 8 hours a day doing my job, and then all the time I put in after stream and on stream. You know, comes with the territory. Oh, elevator. Well, that's not the way I want to go, but noted. I think I fast traveled the wrong. No, I'm wrong. Yeah, you sit down there, library. It's a good spot for you. Honestly, at this point, does Polaris have any help for us here? Is it just guiding us to that specific spot? Okay. I might, like, take screenshots of these whiteboards so we don't have to run around looking at them. So, okay. Let's think about this, right? That suggests biohazard in 5. So let's go just on arrows here. Just on arrows here. Biohazard in 5. And then left diamond.
So, we need to find all the punch cards.
Left diamond in 2. Center in 3. And then there's one more whiteboard, right? Yes. We need to find all the punch cards. Yes, I understand that. But I need to do this first. So then, what does this point to? This has no arrows, which to me suggests that their arrows is not what we're aiming for, because that only gives us 3 of them, and that's not definitive. So maybe arrows is not what we're aiming for. Maybe it's a different feature of the whiteboard. So each of them have red X's. Hang on, let me pick up all the cards first. So each of them all have red X's and annotations, right?
Each punch card should correspond to a terminal.
Yes, I know. So each of them all have red X's and annotations, but not all of them have numbers. Or not all of them have arrows. So perhaps there's a pattern in the X's. So let's think 3-dimensionally here. What if we overlay all, so there's X's 1, 4, 5, 2, 3.
These whiteboard
5,
drawings may be
and
important.
Marshall, you're not helping me think. Okay, let's think. 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, and 2, 3, 5. So these two have identical X's, but they are not identical. What is the difference? That's 3 biohazards. So the difference is,
It looks like he was working on
that
something to do with these symbols.
I see that. Your hints are not as helpful as you think they are. Calculating. This symbol 4 is different there. right? Okay, symbol 4 is the only uncrossed symbol that is different. So, that suggests that either this or this can go in 4. The overhead one or the left side one. So let's try overhead in 4. What do the symbols mean? What do the numbers mean, Mason? I lied. Let's take that out of there. I wish I could, like, just get a hint. Like, what part of the whiteboards am I to be focusing on? Because clearly it involves the whiteboards, and it involves, there is a pattern on the whiteboards of, you know, annotations. They all have annotations, and they all have red X's, right? So my immediate first thought is they all have annotations. 1, 2, 3, 4 annotations on this one.
What do these whiteboards mean?
That means 4 is center or left diamond, right? And then that would mean this has 1, 2, 3 annotations, and so then 3 would be biohazard or left side. And then up top, this has 2 annotations, so 2 would be biohazard or overhead. And because there's already an overlap of one that could be biohazard, that would mean 2 is overhead, and the other one is biohazard. Or
try different
biohazard.
combinations. One of them has to work.
Yes. 3 is biohazard. 2 is overhead. So then, what else is implied? Those 2 could go in 2 or 3. We already have 3. Oh, my head's starting to swim. Like holding all these symbols in my brain and like trying to figure out what's encoded on the whiteboards. Whiteboards hint control. Two in the main area. Using the information on whiteboard number 1, we can find out the punch cards for Terminal 2 and Terminal 3, which suggests to me that it is arrows, right? The information on the second whiteboard shows you the cards used for Terminal 1 and Terminal 5. How does that imply Terminal 1? Okay, so given that hint, right? Let's grab our cards here. That would be Terminal 3. Center would be Terminal 3. And then left would be Terminal 2. This guy would be Terminal 2. Based on that. And then whiteboard number 2 implies what is on Terminal 1 and Terminal 5. So Terminal 1 would be Biohazard. And Terminal 5... also be biohazard? No, it would be left side. No. That implies that biohazard is Terminal 5 and left side is Terminal 1? Maybe. Let's try left side in Terminal 5 and an overhead in Terminal 4 and see what we get. And if this isn't it, then we can switch. Oh, that also says biohazard in 1. So we'll see. If this doesn't work, we can switch 1 and 5, right? And then that's a reasonable guess. No dice. So let's switch 1 and 5. See what that does. No. Okay, so I'm focusing on the wrong detail. So let's keep reading the walkthrough here, see if it gives us a little less nuanced vibe. The final whiteboard shows you the card for Terminal 4. Okay, so yeah, 1 is biohazard, 4 is overhead. So we need to swap these again. What did I get wrong? Did I get 2 and 3 backwards? I think I got 2 and 3 backwards. I did get 2 and 3 backwards. But it says right there, 2 and 3. Oh, but because they have the interchanged arrows. Ah. Okay. Biohazard. Oh. Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't think I followed what was indicated there. So, clearly the last whiteboard upstairs indicates overhead is 4, right? And it also indicates biohazard on 1. Which is also indicated down here. So then is that indicating 5? Yes, because of the arrow. And then I had 2 and 3 backwards. Okay. It was the arrows, though. It was like a combination of the arrows and what was crossed out the whole time. So I was really close to the right answer 4 or 5 times, apparently. So we activate the resonator. And then the resonator go burr. And Polaris seems very happy about that. Whoa. Uh-oh. Well, there it goes. Goodbye.
The prism shattered. Darling's prototypes have a lot of issues. We need a new plan. We need more Black Rock prisms to make this machine work. Darling has another lab down in the Black Rock processing site in maintenance. That must be where he keeps the prisms.
I've been to maintenance already. I can find my way.
But how long will that take?
Oh,
Nothing here is simple.
We can get to the,
I need to ask her
now we
now,
can get to the Black Rock
before I go.
processing plant.
I need something from you
That we
first.
saw before.
What do you know about Dylan Faden?
I knew this was coming. Lives are at stake here, and we need this machine working to save those lives. Once that is done, Director Faden, then we can talk.
She's right. As much as I don't want to admit it, I'm the only one who can help.
Fine. I'll get the prisms first.
Dylan will have to wait just a little longer.
But don't call me Director.
Dylan.
Jesse is fine.
I'll call you Faden. Here, you'll need this keycard.
Thanks.
Cool.
Emily Pope has set up a
Black Rock
base
lab.
in Executive.
Clearance level 4.
Once I have the prism, I'll meet you there.
Right. I'll move out immediately. And keep an eye out for Darling. Finding him might be the key to stopping the hiss.
It's just one large-scale HRA. It's there now. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance. Hostile, viral, invasive
Yeah,
resonance.
it's a mimetic.
I think that's what the Hedron resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedron can provide us and keeping us from being wiped out.
Is this the astral? Is that? No, that's the mines. Oh, but the astral plane is made of black rock.
Here, this will lead back to Central
Like the
Research.
structures in the astral plane, I mean. We got some points now, too. Oh, cool. So now we can take this back to Central Research. We've opened a shortcut. And now we're back in Central Research because we couldn't get to the Ritual Division earlier because it was Greenwald. I see. How much time we got left? No time. So let's read our collectibles. We haven't been reading our collectibles. A Hiss cluster. Hiss clusters are unique in that they are concentrated manifestations of Hiss without the need of a host. Hiss clusters are dense spherical compressions of Hiss resonance that serve support functions in the hierarchy of Hiss entities. The clusters are capable of replenishing Hiss hosts with infusions of resonance. This doesn't heal any physical damage inflicted on the organic host, but rather seems to rejuvenate them, allowing them to endure more bodily harm than normally possible. The fact that the Hiss takes an effort to preserve its corrupted hosts underlines a level of awareness and discretion that was previously just speculation on my part. Can this entity be considered an individual or simply an extension of the Hiss as a whole? Capturing one alive would be quite interesting. Check a redacted report for the full report. Field research on Hiss entity Hiss Warped agent. The Hiss Warped wield only paranatural abilities similar to drifters. They are able to telekinetically shield themselves with nearby material and launch objects at their target. These entities are particularly destructive and difficult to kill, possibly indicating an internal reinforcement of Hiss resonance. Why do certain Hiss display paranatural abilities while others rely on Bureau firearms? Do certain corrupted entities have less potential than the hosts that become Hiss warped? Or is this perhaps an indication of an evolution or maturation of the Hiss corruption? Are there other stages of evolution yet to be found? What if the Hiss inhabits a host for a whole month, a year? Do hosts expire after a certain amount of time? Does the corruption become too strong for an organic body to endure? Only time and well-researched, well-documented observation will tell. Refer to a redacted file for full report. A report on the Astronaut program. This report serves as an introductory guide to the Astronaut program, including candidate requirements, training practices, and astral research procedures. Astronauts are chosen individuals who explore and document the astral plane by making physical contact with the X-ray light box in the Hypnosis Lab, a section of the Parapsychology Division. Physical and psychological training is vital for repeated transition between planes known as dives. After each dives, astronauts must go a redacted session in the cognitive recording chairs to record their experience in the plane. Gathered data has conclusively proven that redacted within the astral plane vary wildly between astronauts. On rare occasions, these dives can result in losses, often occurring when teams encounter aggressive astral energies. Refer to file 829-1838 for full report. An investigation by Dr. Yoshimi Takui. Dr. Yoshimi Takui, a Japanese citizen residing in Tokyo, has produced a series of guided imagery experience audio recordings that have gained notable popularity around the globe. Due to his unusually swift rise in fame, along with reports of vivid redacted accompanying the use of his tapes, investigation sector staff were asked to look into Dr. Takui's background. We found no past incident with an altered occurrence, nor any evidence of involvement with an altered organization. However, agents that attended the signing event reported redacted when hearing Dr. Takui speak. We recommend that the research team obtain an audio recording of Dr. Takui's voice and perform any and all relevant analysis. Based on the findings, the investigation sector will determine next steps regarding Dr. Takui as well as his eligibility for the Prime Candidate Program. Refer to file 7429633 for full report. Recording chair procedures. Before the use of the recording devices, please ensure the following safety measures are met. Ensure the volunteer is securely fastened in their chair. Ensure the hood is placed over the volunteer's head. This will prevent the volunteer from taking in visual stimuli during the recording process, which can lower the quality of captured footage. This also prevents recording technicians from viewing the volunteer's face, which undergoes muscle spasms during recording that some consider upsetting. Check if the volunteer is comfortable. Activate the recording apparatus, and after recording is complete, check volunteer cognitive ability using the provided questionnaire. Do not be alarmed if the length of recorded footage exceeds the volunteer's period of unconsciousness. Astral dilation is a known issue. If any problems arise during the process, contact your supervisor. Threshold Kids proposal. With the recent arrival of Redacted, there are certain glaring gaps in the Bureau's ability to educate and raise a young Redacted. There are no other Redacted for Redacted to play with, and Redacted is expected to learn about a frightening new concept. Solution. Redacted will require a slow, Redacted-friendly introduction to paranatural topics. With this in mind, allow me to introduce The Threshold Kids, a television show in which a cast of cheerful puppets explain the dangers of living at the Bureau, but also show the fun side of the paranatural. Budget would be minimal. I took a few puppet-making courses at my local community center. We can have research staff build the sets, record the footage, and even do the voices. It'll be good for morale, and I guarantee Redacted will respond positively to these videos. We can't expect a Redacted to enjoy lectures and people in lab coats, but as television has proven for years, Redacted love puppets. Bethany Harrington, a parapsychologist, was the one who took the puppet-making course, judging by who compiled it. Research on Blackrock prisms. Blackrock prisms are unique formations of Blackrock, distinct in both their shape and potency. While the density of Blackrock dampens paranatural forces, the unique, presumably resonant structure of prisms retain frequencies in the range Redacted to Redacted hertz with perfect Redacted harmonization. What do we think harmonization? What type of harmonization? You think it's a, like a... You think it's like a temperament of harmonization, or is it like it produces perfect overtones and undertones? Who knows? This report analyzes the results of focusing a Redacted through a harmonized prism onto a Redacted. Methods for the imprinting of non-physical fields onto Redacted, imbuing them with the properties of harmonized resonance Redacted in the prism, will be explored and explained. Refer to a Redacted file for full report. Groupthink. This study extends the works of Irving Janis, Robert Barron, and others by proposing strong causal links between groupthink and the passive or active use of telepathy. To prove these connections, the Parapsychology Department carried out variations of Solomon Asch's original conformity experiments using a telepathic individual as the subject. See experiments Redacted for details. Extensive qualitative and quantitative data resulting from these experiments was then used to identify telepathic interference within the group. Further empirical findings suggest measures can be taken to safeguard against telepathic influence by behaviors by engaging in Redacted. Rather boldly, this paper stands to revolutionize decades of groupthink theory and provide new directions for further experimentation on the mind, including manipulation of Redacted and Redacted. Refer to file 3182849 for full report. Is Solomon Asch the one who did, like, the planting seeded responses in a group and people feel compiled to react as they feel the group is reacting? Like, this study I'm thinking of, this may not be the actually correct and relevant study, is there's a group of people, right? And unbeknownst to the group of people, there are 3 actors within it. And they ask the group their opinion on a controversial subject, right? And this question was asked of them on a questionnaire in private, and they answered one way. But the actors then proposed the opposite of what the majority of the group thought on their surveys. And then because people don't want to speak up against the group, they keep quiet. Is that might be the study that I'm thinking of there. I might be wrong too. Further research is required. Oh, sorry. Talking my insides outside of being grumpy. Or talking my insides out of being grumpy is what I wanted to say there. Case files. The X-ray light box. No unique procedures are needed for containment. Description and para-utility. The object is a light box used to examine X-ray images. The image cannot be removed from the light box. The information on the image belongs to a patient named Redacted. The object allows para-utilitarians to forcefully seize an individual's redacted. The seized individual becomes redacted to the user. The effects last a redacted amount of time. Once released, the seized redacted, as a result, they do something negative as a result of the psychic trauma. The object has no current binder. Background: a janitor named Redacted found the object at St. Anne's Hospital in Redacted. Soon the building's occupants were redacted by him. The Bureau dispatched an emergency response team to redacted the perpetrator and redacted the item. Fatalities numbered in the redacted. For operational details, see case 26. Hotel. Oh god, what's Q in? Oh, I can never remember Q in the phonetic alphabet. I'm looking this up, and I'm gonna reread it. Q phonetic alphabet. Q is Quebec. For operational details, see case 26 Hotel Quebec 452. Anyway, rubber duck supplement. Discovered in the home of Agent Redacted after his young daughter complained of being followed by a rubber duck. According to Agent Redacted, the matter was ignored, believed to be the results of the child's imagination, until he began to hear the quacking at night. After discovering the item hiding in his daughter's closet, he brought it to the Bureau for study. Update: it was discovered that Agent Redacted was bringing known paranormal materials into his home illegally, taking them outside the oldest house. How this may have affected the creation of an altered item is being investigated. Agent Redacted has been terminated. Hopefully they mean terminated from his position and not, terminated. But you never know. With the way the Federal Bureau of Control has been behaving, could go either way. Some correspondences. The sensory tank purpose. Darling here. Some of you were curious why I had these sensory deprivation tanks installed. Thought I shed some light on the subject. Maybe some of you have heard of a Dr. Yoshimi Tokui, the man behind the hugely popular guided imagery experience tapes. Apparently his tapes go beyond the normal meditative qualities of such things, but create genuine hallucinatory visions in some listeners, so the reports say. Brought these tanks in to test Dr. Takui's tapes for ourselves, plus there may be some stress-relieving uses for the staff down the road. I think we could all benefit from some time in a dark and closed space, don't you? If you have any more questions, feel free to stop by my office. You know where it is. Of course, Darling wants to implement sensory deprivation in the staff. Oh, Raz dropping by in a little study break and giving us a little hydrate. Thank you, dear. Also, yes, Raz, seeing those sensory deprivation tanks did make me think of Fringe. I talked about it earlier in the stream, but I'm really loving Fringe. Okay, we already read those. We've got some multimedia about resonance.
Resonance is the key. Vibration, frequencies,
is a powerful thing.
Waveforms, fields we didn't know were there.
I mean,
physics.
If you believe... Yeah.
These fields in complex interaction, altering reality that comes to contact with them.
Particles arising out of fields, that kind of thing, complex physics. There are a
Hedron
lot of
is
fields we
communicating
don't
with
necessarily know about.
It's trying to warn me of something imminent.
Oh.
I've been
Hedron
using every known method to analyze the data.
It's not a resonance classification, it's an entity and it's speaking to you?
Exposing myself to it. I'm seeing things and overcome by compulsion. It's not just data, it's protection. It's benign. We are about to be exposed to a different kind of resonance.
Oh, we heard this part of it earlier.
Hostile, viral, invasive resonance. That's what the Hedron resonance amplifiers are for. Taking the protection Hedron can provide us and keeping us from being wiped out.
I mean, we don't know what Hedron wants, but... I'll head back to class now, and I love you dearly. Love you too, my darling.
Altered item number
I'll talk you after
52AE
streaming
analysis,
class.
session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First,
Oh, this is the
low
stimuli.
voltage electric
Did
shock.
we already listen to this one? I think we already listened to this stimuli
Please state
one.
your name
And
for
we
the
already
record.
listened to the
All Warren,
astronaut
astronaut, first.
liability. Okay. We've got a few hotline clips here, just about objects of power. Maybe we've gotten more information about objects of power? What is this new? The objects of power are holders 665. To the other or blessing. We hold the reins of the law. We are failing in translating hyperreal concepts. Secrets or instructions will be lost. Ignore this message. So that was kind of a, like, the board trying to elucidate concepts that are beyond our current understanding, and so the words didn't make much sense because we do not have the base concepts for, like, within the English language or within our brains understanding. Really, this right now, and also stop exploding. Are you done? So it's just gonna hang out down there and slowly lose health because it can't stand to be under control. Look at it go. Goodbye. Poor little guy. We're just gonna stand here and watch it slowly, you know, explode, basically. So does it just stand there and become a timed grenade? We're gonna have to do this again later when there are more enemies. Yeah, it just gives up and explodes. I don't know what it would have done when there were other people around, though. Like, other enemies around, though. That's what I'm curious about. Anyway, we know where Blackrock Processing is. It's just a matter of getting there. We like, walked up to the door last time. Oh, hey. Button. Oh! I got a thing. Oh, quiet room with large resonators? What's in here? We didn't come in here before. Oh, is this just a little room with some little lore? Is that what's happening? Fair enough. Well, I think... Oh, it's a Pierce Zoom boost. Let's drop one of our cheaper mods here. Let's equip... we want to equip ammo efficiency. Let's equip ammo efficiency. And then let's handle our weapon mods here. Deconstruct. We can pick up this one. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. Because I feel like we need to get Pierce. Let's just go to a control point. Where's the nearest control point? It's in luck and probability. Oh, is this another spot that damages me? No, apparently? Weirdly? What's going on here? That's weird. What's this? Have we been down here before? Oh. That's again, where's the nearest control point? We've definitely been down this way. Definitely, probably. Oh, no, that's not it. Where are we? What are these? Avoid modern technology, synchronicity research. Do as you're told, don't eat mold. Even the smallest amount of mold can cause serious harm. Contact security immediately. So that's the mold we walked over. Don't read confidential correspondence. It's not just rude, it's illegal. Can't find your office. Watch your step. Set a stapler on an altered item. Don't take office equipment outside the building. Don't let mold hitch a ride. Perform daily body checks for foreign plant matter. So that mold I was just walking through, not good for my health and safety, apparently. Let's go up to parapsychology, I guess. Or who among us has touched the foundation of this world and deemed them solid. Dr. Theodore Ash. Anyway, we need to get to control point so I can call it an evening. Oh, fiddlesticks. That won't be here when I come back. Oh, I can't get to pneumatics anyway. Oh, there's another one of these we just got. Song questionnaire. Oh, it's of the fall, my darkest quiet. Answer questions within 2 minutes of listening. Did this song elicit any particular memories? Elaborate if so. Did you at any point feel a strong emotion? If so, what emotion? Did a clear image of a weapon appear in your mind during the song? Elaborate if so. Provide a detailed description of your current surroundings as you see them. Have you ever heard the murmur of voices when no one is present? If so, what did they say? Do you hear them now? Please choose from one of the following pairs, 1 or 2, A or B, day or night, apple or orange, or burn out or fade away. Now there's a multimedia we didn't hear. Music. Oh, wait a minute, do I have stream mode on? Oh no, is that gonna get me dinged? Oh no. I don't want that to get me dinged. I'll listen to that later, because it actually sounded like it was really good. Just from those opening beats, you know? It sounded pretty good to me. Can I go through here now that I've degreaved the building a little bit? No, I cannot. The Greebles do remain. Oh, parapsychology and our elevator. That's perfect. Let's take the elevator down to... Oh. You know what? I don't think this elevator is going to go where I think it does. But, I think we're out of time. I'm just trying to get to a save point so I don't, you know, lose my progress. I gotta say, it is unsettling how quickly you just go, oh yeah, horrifying cursed chanting. Let's pick up Shield 4 so we can use Evade to make Shield even more aggressive. Because I feel like I'm constantly using Shield. Not enough ability points. Okay, well, we'll get that later, I guess. Launch enemies. Honestly, I feel like we're running out of energy a lot. Like, you know, the energy is the ammo for a gun and everything. So, oh, well, we don't have enough ability points, so it's immaterial. Do we want to boost C's? Honestly, I haven't used C's yet. So, like, you know, not enough ability points there, not enough ability points there. We haven't been using melee. Honestly, launch damage is really the only one available to us right now. Or plus damage to shield barrage. I think Launch large enemies or launch damage. Let's get launch large enemies. It gives us more fodder to throw. Cool. And then fast travel to... We need to go to... Where do we need to go? It's in maintenance. We need to go to the Black Rock plant. The Black Rock plant is accessible from the main power plant, as I recall. Because we need to go to the... There was a set of stairs somewhere. Here is probably best. And we'll pick up next week from there. Like I said, I think I have stream mode. If I have stream mode on, I'm happy to sit here and listen to this music, but I don't want to get dinged unnecessarily. Options. Audio. Mute copyrighted music. Okay, that is on.
Marshall
so
knows something about Dylan. Is he here? Is he alright? HRAs
so.
first. They'll help save everyone,
HRAs
including Dylan, once I find him. Can you keep him safe?
I agree.
Like you do with me?
I mean, I sure hope Polaris can. Polaris has input. Though we don't get to know what. Do we have access to pneumatics? Is pneumatics in the mail area? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Hang on. If pneumatics is in the mail area, I might do that. Because... Oh, pneumatics is in the mail area. Ooh, I shouldn't. I don't have enough time. Okay. So, I think this has to be it for Control for tonight. Next week, we will work on the next thing that the story's put in front of us. Later this week, we're going to do our level best in order to finish up the issue of Astounding Stories we're on. We were very... there was a lot more to it than I thought there was last week. I could have pushed for it, but I felt like it deserved better than me pushing. You know? If there's not enough story left in Astounding Stories, we will, I'm just stating it, we will be doing other short stories after it. We're also actually about to start a new story in Astounding Stories, so if you're lost, you know, if you're like, man, I haven't been keeping up with paper cuts, perfect time to drop by, because we're about to drop into a new story. We're not in the middle of any chapters or anything. It's just a new short story, because that's the whole point of Astounding Stories. It's a bunch of little short stories in a serial magazine format. So, you know, later this week on Friday, it's a really great time to join us for paper cuts. And if you're really liking Control, definitely come back this time next week. What else do I promote? I have a Discord. If you like the things I do and you want to yell at me in a little chat room, that's not my Twitch chat. There's a Discord. I have a YouTube where I post all my VODs and whatever else I want to make. Mostly VODs at this point, and clips from VODs. Depends on the week, depends on the month. Sometimes I have little projects that sit in the back of my brain for approximately forever until I get enough time, and then I make something. So, you know, if you want to catch things that aren't just live streams, YouTube's a great place for that. I have a TikTok. It's literally just clips from this stream. Anytime someone hits the clip button on Twitch for this stream, I definitely consider it as something I can post to TikTok. So if you want to have a little bit of control of what I might be posting to TikTok, definitely remember to hit the clip button. What else? Do I have anything else I need to promote over here? Oh, Paper Cuts is a podcast. So if you're like, man, I really want to show up to Paper Cuts, but I don't want to listen to it live because there's nothing to look at on the screen other than the book and my lovely face. But, you know, I get it. I don't want to look at what's on the screen, but I want to hear him, and Twitch doesn't have an audio-only mode. Well, there's a podcast for that. The podcast's back on Dracula. episodes drop the 10th of every month in a in just a big old ball of however much fits at 800 megs. I might be changing that. I've been thinking about changing that. I think what I might do is, we're getting close to another season boundary on Paper Cuts. That might be, uh, I might take a little breather. We'll see. I might take a little breather and change the schedule, or just straight up change the schedule and count that as the season change. We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, and that's all programming notes behind the scenes that you all will see when they happen, and not a day sooner. You'll maybe hear me mumble about it, but nothing definitive until it's done. Anyway, I think I've promoted all my things. Let's go. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Drop by for Paper Cuts. I'm really loving the book we're reading. I really love the short stories in Astounding, and I want you all to love them too, so come by. We're sharing them with you. See you.